Welcome to the Political Checkmate and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Today is the day where people thank others for many things, but today, as a libertarian, I am going to cover a meme where the left can't meme, and I will explain why I am not thankful for the Democrats throughout history. Let us begin. So, in this meme, we got 9 things this meme is thankful for from the Democrats. So we first got Medicare, and my response is that programs like Medicare and Social Security help contribute about $175 trillion in unfunded obligations that threaten to bankrupt this country. While on the impacts of Medicare, this study from the Quarterly Journal of Economics found that Medicare increased hospital spending 6 times larger than what individual levels changes in health insurance would have predicted. Another study from the Journal of Public Economics found that Medicare had no impact on elderly mortality, but it did decrease 40% of out-of-pocket spending, but that study found that its impacts only covered 2/5 of the cost of Medicare in welfare gains. I would recommend this paper that talks about the research of how Medicare had a negative impact on health quality. While on environmental protections, which is a bit vague, but some have positive results while others had negative results. For example, this study from the Journal of Association of Environmental and Resource Economists found that California environmental building codes reduced the value of low-income houses. I recommend this article from economist Timothy D. Darrell that talks about the problem of doing environmental regulations, and I recommend this video from the economist Walter Block that talks about the free market environmentalism, and in the video it talks about how the courts in the progressive era followed the mentality of the common good over property rights, which helped increase pollution. On the topic of lower insulin prices, they're probably talking about price caps on insulin. Well, this study in the journal Health Affairs looked at state-level price controls on out-of-pocket spending and found it did not increase the use of insulin because people in the states were already paying less in out-of-pocket expenses than what price caps were dictating. Of course, price controls on drugs are bad because this study found that cutting prices by 40 to 50% in the US will lead to 30 to 60% fewer R&D projects. We should instead get rid of medical patents, and that will help decrease medical costs. Now, with minimum wage, it has in fact hurt the economy according to this study from the National Bureau of Economic Research, where they looked at 15.2 million establishments throughout 1989 to 2013. They found that increasing the minimum wage worsens the financial health of small businesses by resulting in lower bank credit, higher loan defaults, lower unemployment, and a higher exit rate for small businesses. Also, minimum wage destroys jobs according to this literature review of minimum wage studies. Raising the minimum wage also slows job growth according to the study from the Journal of Human Resources. Another interesting fact is that the minimum wage has a racist history. According to the economic historian Thomas C. Leonard's book, Illiberal Reformers, Race, Eugenics, and American Economics in the Progressive Era. It talks about how the minimum wage was a eugenics plot to reduce minority employment. In fact, in the book Basic Economics, Thomas Sowell points out that minimum wage decreased black employment when it was first implemented, and this study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that the minimum wage reduced job opportunities for blacks. While with civil rights, Southern Democrats tried to stop the Civil Rights Act, and the Republicans helped pass it. But of course, nobody has a monopoly on promoting civil rights, because many libertarians tried to promote the rights of blacks, like Milton Friedman, when the American Economic Association in 1957 were trying to decide which hotel to choose. Milton Friedman talked about the financial incentive on the view of segregation on choosing a hotel. Another figure that libertarians respect would be Lysander Spooner, and how he tried to make the case that slavery is unconstitutional. Now, with Social Security, I've already said that it would help create unsustainable, unfunded obligations. I got some other criticisms of Social Security, such as the poor who get Social Security would generally be wealthier older people, but poor young workers will face a massive payroll tax. Also, people are getting a raw deal from Social Security because, according to the Tax Foundation, they'll be earning more money if they just save the money and invest it in a conservative 401k instead of being taxed for it. On voting rights, I am honestly not a big person for democracy. I would recommend books from Hans Hermann Hoppe's book Democracy: The God That Failed, and Brian Kaplan's book The Myth of the Rational Voter, and Jason Brennan's Against Democracy. It talks about the problems of democracy in greater detail, while on child labor, it has been declining before its ban according to the World Bank. In fact, this study looks at the decline of child labor from 1880 and 1930 and found that minimum age limits have relatively little effect. But if we look at Pakistan, when children lose their jobs because of child labor being banned, those kids in Pakistan became prostitutes and beggars. The way to end child labor is what economist Eric V. Edmonds found is to increase economic growth, which will improve the family condition so that they don't need to send their kids to work. On LGBTQ, presidential candidate like John Kerry were not strong supporters for things like gay marriage until the party in the last decade shifted towards the support of it. But again, they don't have a monopoly on supporting LGBTQ rights because the Libertarian Party strongly supported gay marriage since 1972. Libertarians will generally support the rights of the LGBTQ unless it's something that infringes upon the rights of others, such as being forced to bake a cake for an event they religiously disagree with. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and please donate to my Patreon so I can make more videos and have your video requests checkmated. And thanks for watching, and have a nice day.